Oh, I guess. Hello, guys. It's me, Butterfly Spirit 314. So, guys, I just got finished with doing my arm workout. So, in this arm workout, basically, I work on my arms. Let me see. I work on my arms, but in particular, I'm working my biceps, triceps, and shoulders, okay, which are essential if you're going to be trying to build really toned and strong arms and strong shoulders too. So I decided I would like jump in and do a live like right after the workout because then I can talk specifically about like what I'm noticing like right after. So here's what I'm feeling right now, like right after. So what I noticed here is I noticed here and here, I noticed that I noticed that I feel some soreness right there in my arms and stuff. And I just noticed it. And this could be because it's been a few days since I've done an arm workout, possibly. Um, and I did notice some popping in my right arm. I did talk to my doctor about that, and he was like, well, that's not really a bad thing. He was like, well, there's a few things that could be going on when that's happening. He could say, because, it could be one tendon passing over the other. It could be possibly that there is weakness in the tendons and stuff like that. And so he's like, well, that's not really a terribly bad thing. He did tell me that what I do need to do is I do need to do stretches. So there is one of the stretches he told me about is actually a stretch that I do in pole dancing. So the stretch, like basically like this, and like this, and just kind of like, making sure I like stretch the arm and stuff, and do the same one here as well. So that's something. He told me also that I could just kind of do a stretch where I can basically like use a doorknob to bend down to kind of stretch out the arms that way and stretch out the spine and stuff too. So that's something he told me I can do as well too. So he's trying to help me to make sure that I'm like that I'm because of the popping, just to make sure like that I'm strengthening the muscles and stuff, which is good. So um, I did notice I was able to get through my arm workout today. Now I did feel the burn in my arms. That's the goal of the workout, is to feel the burn definitely. Um, so one thing I did differently and then during this workout is instead of me looking at the countdown clock and stuff during the workout, what I did is that I noticed that I started like looking around the room and looking at different things. So instead of me focusing on the amount of time I had left during the workout, doing certain exercises, what I would do is if I'm looking around the room, I'm distracting myself as I'm doing the workout. So, that's like 2 or 3 or so many seconds that where my mind is distracted and stuff, so it kind of kept me a bit more, it let me kind of relax while I was doing the arm workout and stuff because it was tough. And I did the workout. I think, my goodness, my hair is just, it's like the one strand or two strands of my hair. They're just like driving me nuts. They're just, they're just going crazy. Anyway, but yeah, that's something I noticed. Like looking around the room and looking at different things helped me to just kind of distract myself, which is good, and stuff. I felt really good when I was like lifting the dumbbells, and I was doing like basically, so there's this exercise I do, right? So it's like you do one and then down and then the other and then down like this. So during that workout, something that I noticed was that my arms were getting tired, but what I did is that I just like tried to push through and stuff. And I'm building that strength, which is good. And it can definitely be something, to get used to, especially if you're not like into lifting weights above your head. And if you're somebody and you don't have any strength in doing that, I wouldn't advise doing that and stuff. You want to do like exercises that you're comfortable with, and at your own pace. When I'm doing the arm workout, I do it at my own pace. I don't try to speed through it. I take the time to do the exercise and stuff so that I'm going through it and doing the motions correctly, and stuff. And if I feel way too tired, then I take a break or take a rest. This workout, I was able to kind of take a rest and stuff. And actually during the workout, when this arm was popping, when my right arm was popping, I went ahead and just stretched it out a little bit, and just like let it stretch and just like kind of let it rest and stuff like that too, to stretch it out. So that is something that was different that I added to the workout and stuff. But I'm definitely noticing that I'm pulling through the workout, and stuff. And I'm seeing progress. My body's getting stronger and stuff. At some point, I'm probably going to increase the weight of my dumbbells, but I'm going to give it some time because I've been using 5-pound dumbbells and stuff. That's what I've been using so far. Actually, I've been using the fact that I've been using these dumbbells and I've had them for like 2 years or 3 years, and I'm finally using them. Like, I'm glad they're getting some use, but they're getting used with me like strengthening myself, which is super awesome. So I'm glad about that too. And also, I'm learning how to lift correctly. So usually I lift with my lower back, and I actually was injured in an accident where I had a lower back injury. So working out is actually helping me learn to not lift with my lower back. It's helping me to build the muscles in my back, in my whole back, so that my core lifts, does the lifting rather than me lifting with my lower back. Because when I try to lift with my lower back, that really hurts a lot. And I noticed that in walking too, like if I walk for too long or stand for too long, it can bother me. But I'm noticing as I work out, it's really helping my lower back to kind of relax a bit more, and stuff. So, accidents can have an impact. And that accident was probably, I think it was in 2021. So it was about 4 years ago. And so it was actually, I think it was 2020. So it was about 5 years ago. But even after accidents, you can still have injuries that you carry. And it's important, if you do have an injury, make sure you're able to maintain and manage it. Because if you don't, then it can later in life, it can have an impact on you. Basically, I was in an accident with my ex where we were stopped and this guy just like hit us from behind. He was texting and driving. And it's definitely changed things for me and definitely for him, in like how our bodies are. And so a lot of people don't think about that. Luckily, we went to physical therapy and chiropractic and things like that, which helped. But there's a lot of people who think after accidents, oh, I'm fine, I don't have to go and get anything, I'm good. It's important to go and get checked out because you never know if you have an injury or not. For me, I have something I can maintain, which is actually helpful, and stuff. And I do so, by going to doctor's appointments and stuff and things like that. And now with like working out and stuff too, which helps a lot. So just to let you guys know, if you ever find yourself being in an accident, definitely make sure, you go get checked out, you go to hospital, you go to physical therapy, you go to chiropractic. You do things to try to get your body back in good order. I mean, you could, be like me and have a spine injury, but the thing is that, if you ignore it, it could get worse and lower your quality of life. If you actually, go through the treatments that you need, it can actually help you keep you vital and things like that and keep you moving around and going and doing what you need to do. So there are things I think about when it comes to the accident and thinking about how, man, before the accident, like there's things that I was like, oh, I was able to lift and do different things without even thinking about it. You know, afterwards, yeah, I definitely noticed things like, and I'm like, man, I wish I could kind of go back and stuff like that. And actually, we were on our way to get donuts. We never got those donuts, but it's just, just the message for you guys, don't ignore, any injuries. And actually, it took me a while, like even on the day of the accident and after, my body didn't even register the injury at all. It did not. It did not register. It wasn't until later that my body registered it. For my boyfriend, for him, it took time and it registered for him immediately. He started to feel stuff immediately. For me, I didn't feel nothing. And that's a really dangerous thing when you don't immediately feel something, and it's because of that adrenaline. But it took some weeks, and then I started feeling and be like, oh, wait a minute, something's off. But luckily, I was in physical therapy and in chiropractic, and they caught it, and they were like, hey, there is this injury that you have, and it made me aware of it. And this is probably why a lot of people probably don't even know until later on, years later, they're like, well, I don't know what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? That's why this is so important to take care of yourself. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in and watching this video. I'm going to be doing another video after my core workout to let you guys know if I noticed anything in that after that workout that I'm going to do today. Thank you for watching. Bye.